all eyes are on the MPC meet, and economists predict a 25 basis points hike in the policy rate. They also expect a switch of stance from withdrawal of accommodation to neutral. My colleague Harsh joins in to what to expect from the meet on Thursday.
Well, absolutely. You said it, 25 bips is largely the consensus on the street. And really, that takes the repo from 4%, which was the case same time last year, to 6.75%. That's a steep hike in terms of the way the repo has moved over a period of just one financial year. But let's quickly look at some numbers, right? The first metric that the RBI largely looks at is inflation. So let's look at the inflation graph and the manner in which it's really gone off over the last year or so. And inflation has kicked through very, very sharply higher. It was higher in the month of June, 7.1% in the month of June. And of that, it's come off slightly lower. It's currently at around 6.5%. Where we currently stand at. In fact, inflation went up and in fact came lower at the end of the last calendar year before it spiked back up. So you can see the graph there. It had come down to 5.7%. Let's quickly take it to the larger inflation picture going forward. The RBI estimates that inflation will be below 6% in FY24, so that's a positive. But the manner in which that is to happen is, of course, still in question. And what they also expect is 5.7% in Q4. So whether there's a revision to that is something that we will have to keep our eyes out on. And of course, then spillover on the FY24 revision as well. And that will, of course, drive rates going forward. So any commentary around that will also help. The other piece that's, of course, the main piece is the growth. Growth has come sharply off. We were closer to 8% on RBI estimates at the start of last year. We've closed the year at close to 7%, hopefully. And we're expecting FY24, rather RBI is expecting FY24 at 6.4%. So RBI will have an eye out on that as well, because as the rates have gone up, it's possible that growth will start to come under more and more pressure. So an eye out on the growth trajectory as well is something that RBI will look out for. In terms of just general metrics and what's really driving the RBI to a 25 basis point rate hike, one is, of course, the larger global macro environment. And here are some numbers just broadly listing down the larger picture with regard to crude and other variables that the RBI looks at last meeting versus this meeting. But of course, the Fed continues to hike, and that may also push the RBI to hike. So some commentary around global macros will also be anticipated.